This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Welcome into the News at 5. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins.
First tonight, a 13-year-old girl credited with helping to get her family to safety as a tornado was headed right for their home in Pendleton.
Well, the family didn't believe the girl at first, but now they say her alertness gave them time to seek safety.
Meanwhile, volunteers are helping remove debris in that Madison County town. Derek Thomas finding some incredible stories.
By noon, over 119 people had volunteered to help. They had their own special reasons for stepping forward.
I'm joining the Army in July 2nd, and so I just like helping people around. So that's pretty much the main reason why I came out here.
Cutland was joined in his quest to help by others, like Maya Burns.
It's not our job, but like I said, if this happened to me, I know I'd want people to come and help.
81-year-old Jerry Fawcett was thankful Burns felt that way.
Well, I have no idea who they even are. I looked out the window and they were out there cleaning my yard for me. Wow, this is amazing.
It's also amazing how 13-year-old Amaya Thompson notified her family about the tornado that was bearing down on their home. These are photographs of what the twister did to her house and the trampoline that was in the yard.
I told my mom and uncle and everybody in the house, and then I just screamed. It was scary.
What was scary about it?
That it was really near our house. It went right across our gravel road.
Amaya and her family headed to the laundry room in the middle of the house for safety. No one was injured. Who knows what would have happened if Amaya hadn't spotted it and screamed a warning. Her uncle says because of her eagle eyes, she will get a brand new trampoline. In Pendleton, Derek Thomas, RTV6.
And just into the RTV6 newsroom tonight, the Red Cross shelter in Pendleton has moved from Pendleton Heights High School to Pendleton Christian Church on the 1100 block of South Pendleton Street. This shelter will remain open until further notice. The Red Cross will provide food, snacks, and water while the shelter is open. Whenever there is severe weather, we're always there for you. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory, Kyle Mounts, Todd Clausen, and Alyssa Donovan are always posting what you need to know on the RTV6 app. Plus, you can download the Storm Shield app, which is also alerting you to warnings and watches when they pop up. Both apps are free.
And Mark, speaking of weather, thunderstorms are developing right now. The possibility of severe weather remains. We're in the tracking center with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. And Kevin, what's the timeline we can expect for what's going to happen tonight?
Right now, yeah.
Right
and
now.
If you look behind us, that was a boat out on Eagle Creek, I believe, sailing. They'll be coming in quickly because as you look south of Indianapolis, that's where thunderstorms with torrential rainfall are starting to develop. To the north, it looks totally different. You can see how dark it is. This is our Motor Speedway camera looking toward downtown. Okay, here's the rain. Southern portion of Marion County, we've had some lightning, heavy rainfall, I-70 and 465, I-65 and 465, and then closing in on I-74, the whole southern leg of 465. Thunderstorm near Cloverdale. Let's follow this to the west, and the most intense storm is right here, passing between Terre Haute and Sullivan. The main impact from that will be, since it's slow moving, torrential rainfall and some penny-sized hail with this. We'll see if the storms that are to the southwest, where the sun has been out, where temperatures are warmer, can gain strength and then hold together. Right now, it's about 160 miles from, southwest Indiana all the way across where we have this broken line of the thunderstorms. 75 in Indy, 81 in Terre Haute. For the next few hours, we'll see how this builds. If it does build, the thunderstorms become more numerous and a little more intense. Temperatures will still be in the 70s at 11 o'clock tonight.
Kevin, thank you. New developments tonight. The man who murdered Boone County Deputy Jacob Pickett will be in prison for the rest of his life. 22-year-old Anthony Baumgart pleaded guilty to murder, possession of meth, and resisting arrest. Baumgart was fleeing from police last March when he shot and killed Deputy Pickett. In court, Pickett's wife, Jennifer, says future memories and lessons were stolen from her two sons with their father. She added that Baumgart will not take her son's ability to rise up from this tragedy. Boone County Sheriff Mike Nielsen spoke to us today about the sentencing and the sense of closure it provides for his department.
We've got to focus on the good and not the evil. I know that's what Jake would want. We focused on the evil today. He's where he needs to be. It worked out for everybody, in my opinion, and now we have to continue focusing on the good.
Baumgart did not make any statements in the courtroom, and when asked by RTV6 if he had anything to say, he replied with no. But Deputy Pickett's wife, Jennifer Pickett, made a court statement there. Here is a portion of it, quote, "I do not believe that you deserve a single word from me. However, I will not allow you to stand in this courtroom without hearing this message. It is impossible to put into words how our lives have changed since you murdered Jake. But this I can say confidently. I wholeheartedly agree with the plea agreement of life in prison without parole for many reasons. First of all, I have a core belief that no human being has the right to take another human being's life. This belief alone separates me from you. Secondly, I will not allow this single selfish action to define Jake's life, my life, or the lives of our children. That shot you knowingly turned and fired that stole Jake from us is only one horrific, traumatic part of our story, but it will not be the whole story."
Vehicles still under an important safety recall are getting fixed, but a viewer tells RTV6 the fix isn't fixing anything. It's a danger we've seen across the country and right here in Indianapolis. Kia and Hyundai cars bursting into flames. Our Call 6 team has been following this issue for nearly a year now. Paris Lubell shows us the important signs you need to look out for in your car so you stay safe.
The Center for Auto Safety says there's 5 million Kia and Hyundai vehicles on the road right now that have that fire risk, but only 10% of them have been recalled. Right now, about 500,000 Kia and Hyundai vehicles have been recalled for an increased fire risk after scenes like this were popping up across the country. Amanda Hickman has one of those recalled 2012 Kia Souls. She took it to the shop and she says technicians performed a software update and replaced a catalytic converter. But when she got her car back, that's when more problems started. The car is now making a knocking sound, the dashboard is getting hot, and the car is losing power. All things that the Center for Auto Safety says are usually symptoms before the vehicles burst into flames. And it's the same thing that we saw happen to David Hollis's Kia Soul in December. But for the mother of 3, she says it's all concerning.
I had saw a man from Indianapolis had the same issue and his car caught on fire on the highway. And like I said, I mean, I have 3 kids. My son's recently a new driver. So, I mean, if that was to ever happen when he was driving, God forbid, we'd be up a creek because he would panic and he wouldn't know what to do because he's a beginner.
She says she did take it back to the dealer, but when they checked the car's computer, everything was fine, and she was told to keep driving it until issues happened again. Coming up at 6, we'll show you what you should do if you're having similar symptoms with your Kia or Hyundai vehicle. We'll also show you what every car owner should do tonight. Again, that's all coming up on the news at 6. For now, in Indianapolis, Paris Lubell, RTV6.
Paris, thank you. And Kia did get back to us this evening. They say they did not have record of Amanda reaching out to Kia directly. They say Consumer Affairs will create a case and reach out to her for additional details and determine what assistance can be provided after reviewing the maintenance and repair history. The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration also has opened an investigation into Kia and Hyundai for the first risk. If they find a defect, they can force the automakers to recall the vehicles. So far, the current recalls have only been issued by the automakers themselves. And we are working to keep you safe from any dangers, even if it's in your own car. If you have questions that are not getting answered, RTV6 is here for you. Email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Today, Governor Holcomb with the ceremonial signing of a school bus safety law aimed at protecting kids getting on and off the school bus. The new law increases the penalties for drivers who do not stop when a school bus stop arm is out. The law also sets up new requirements for school officials to review all bus routes and stops.
In a few hours, we will know what Indianapolis leaders have planned for the future of the city. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett will give his annual State of the City tonight. It is unknown exactly what Hogsett will talk about, but he is expected to mention the top items on people's minds: crime, Indy roads, and economic development. We will stream the entire State of the City address on Facebook, Twitter, and the RTV6 app. The speech will begin at 6 p.m.
Looking ahead to the Now Indy on RTV6 at 5:30, a high-tech tool to help save a life, and it's on your phone. The Hoosier connection to this new technology and how it's already helping rescue crews before they arrive on scene.
And just ahead here at 5, inside a box covered in duct tape, animal shelter workers found a bunch of kittens. You have a chance to rescue them in the effort to find whoever dropped them off in the first place.
And thunderstorms are firing up as we speak. We've warmed things up this afternoon, and the atmosphere is responding, building thunderstorms, strongest of which just south of Terre Haute. There are others to the east. I'll move this, and a new storm blossoming between Indianapolis and Shelbyville. We'll talk about the evening ahead and look to brighter days coming up.
A horrific discovery outside an East Side business this morning. Employees arriving to work found a man's body outside the building. This happened around 8:30 this morning on the 400 block of South Kitley Avenue. That's near North Arlington Avenue and East Washington Street. Metro Police say the man had been shot. Police aren't sure of the circumstances leading up to the man's death, but they don't believe he shot himself. The Marion County coroner is looking into the man's identity and official cause of death. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
Right now, the Cass County Humane Society is trying to find the person or people who left 3 boxes of cats and kittens outside their shelter in the heat. Those boxes duct taped shut. The Humane Society posted about the animals on Facebook this week, saying someone left the boxes outside the door of their shelter just out of sight. The shelter posted the cats and kittens were all very scared, hot, and panting. The animals are all being treated now and will be adopted out after they are treated. And tonight, a local canine officer is better protected thanks to a donation from a nonprofit organization. The Clinton County Sheriff's Office canine officer named Gunny now has a bullet and stab protective vest. The nonprofit group Vested Interest in Canines made that donation. The organization says the donation to provide 1 protective vest for a law enforcement canine costs around $950. Each vest has a 5-year warranty.
A surprising development today. Former special counsel Robert Mueller spoke publicly for the first time since his investigation began into Russian meddling in the 2016 election and their possible coordination with the Trump campaign.
ABC's Trevor Alt is in Washington, D.C. with brand new developments.
Special counsel Robert Mueller making his first and possibly last public comments today at the conclusion of his team's investigation, saying the 448-page report is his testimony.
Beyond these few remarks, it is important that the office's written work speak for itself.
Shedding light on the investigation into possible obstruction, Mueller explained that because of Department of Justice guidelines, he concluded charging the president with a crime was not an option his team could consider. And while each person investigated is presumed innocent until proven guilty, the inability to charge the president doesn't mean he's exonerated.
If we had had confidence that the president clearly did not commit a crime, we would have said so.
Following Mueller's remarks, House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler says Congress will keep investigating and that all options are on the table.
It falls to Congress to respond to the crimes, lies, and other wrongdoing of President Trump.
Several other Democrats, including multiple presidential candidates, going even further, saying now is the time to begin impeachment proceedings. But Republicans, by and large, are undeterred, saying the Mueller report found no collusion and Attorney General Barr ruled there was no obstruction. They and the president say the case is closed.
He completed his investigation. Now he's closed his office, and it's time for everybody to move on.
A point of consensus regarding the Mueller report after today's statement is that there was a successful attempt to interfere in the 2016 election by the Russians. And members of both parties are saying there needs to be stepped up election security so this doesn't happen again in 2020. Trevor Alt, ABC News, Washington.
Time now for our Storm Team 6 forecast, and it is an alert day today, especially if you looked outside on our Weather Now cameras.
It's interesting. I mean, if you step outside in Indianapolis or anywhere to the north of Indy and look south, it's an intimidating picture as the clouds and thunderstorms are building. No severe storms at this time, but they will bring buckets of rain. When it rains, it pours. This obviously I-65. And 465 on the south side of Indianapolis. You can see headlights on cars there, and we're still over 3 hours, 40 minutes or so from sunset. That's what it looks like from the Motor Speedway to downtown, the intimidating view of that heavy rain. Blanket statement, there is the slight risk for severe storms for all of the viewing area this evening and overnight with additional thunderstorms. Wind and hail, the main threats, heavy rainfall as well. Can't rule out an isolated tornado. All of that should sound very familiar as we've been in this pattern. 8 out of the last 9 days, Kyle and I were just looking at these records, a trace or more of rain. And I think it was 19 out of 29 days this month we've had a trace or more of rain. Let's go to Terre Haute. This is still the strongest storm thunderstorm for now between Sullivan and Terre Haute, likely to produce some penny-sized hail, heavy rainfall that has a decent amount of lightning with it as well. This storm, what happens is we get the downpours, which we've had over Marion County. That sends out some cooler air, and it builds the next thunderstorm. And these may just hopscotch their way along. There's an intensifying thunderstorm not far from Fairland and Acton, and will be toward Morristown as it moves to the east in Shelby County. Just one little shower for now around Hagerstown. Temperatures warm in Illinois. Back to St. Louis, it's 83 in Evansville, while 75 in Indianapolis. If you get a walk in this evening and the dog is going with you, watch for those thunderstorms. Hello, Sadie. She's got her ears up and she's watching RTV6, I'm sure, right now. And hopefully Mom, Sherry, is watching the radar. And you can do that with our Storm Shield app. 11 o'clock tonight, widespread showers, thunderstorms. This is from our short-term forecast model. Brings those through overnight. We'll wake up to showers and some thunderstorms. And during the afternoon tomorrow, I think we'll see a little break, but then maybe one more parting shot tomorrow evening of isolated thunderstorms. Tomorrow's risk for severe storms is low or marginal. Temperatures, they'll be in the 70s. As you look at the morning hours tomorrow into the afternoon, there's the break that I mentioned. Then we begin to see these pop-up showers and thunderstorms as we'll finally make a transition to dry temperatures or dry conditions with temperatures in the 70s on Friday. Tomorrow, because of the clouds and frequent rain, another day in the 70s expected, about 75 in the metro area. Friday, dry. That's the headline. Saturday, there'll be a chance for thunderstorms again, and fingers crossed for a dry stretch Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday before our chance for thunderstorms goes up Wednesday, and the temperature responds as well.
Looking forward to some sunshine.
Right, and a nice weekend. All right. Thank you, Kevin.
Well, an athlete's near-death experience has him on a mission to tell others how to stop a stroke from happening to them, and he breaks some common misconceptions about strokes.
Looking back, Chris Martin knows he should have seen the signs. The jiu-jitsu instructor was working out when he passed out. He says he forgot how to talk.
They were trying to talk to me, and I was trying to communicate back, but the words couldn't come out of my mouth. I didn't know how to speak.
Dr. John Litch, a neurologist, says habits like smoking, excuse me, I'll go back here for a little bit. Moments later, Chris started seizing. He knows now he was having a stroke, but it didn't hit him the right way. After all, he is only 39 years old. He's in good health. How could a stroke happen to someone so young?
Unfortunately, we routinely have people who are having strokes in their 30s and 40s.
Dr. John Lynch, a neurologist, says habits like smoking can cause a stroke, but he says you can lessen your chance of a stroke by developing healthy habits, such as a good diet and exercise.
And the American Stroke Association says the acronym FAST is a way to remember the warning signs of a stroke. So you can identify you are having one early, which could save your life. FAST stands for face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time, as in time to call 911. You've heard about the greatest spectacle in racing, but what about the cutest spectacle in racing? Look at that, the Post-Indy 500 event that will melt your heart.
It's from 4:30 to 7.
Hello to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV. We continue bringing you gavel-to-gavel coverage of the case of the state of California versus former NFL star Kellen Winslow II. Today in court, a huge day of possibly turning point testimony. We heard from who was a surprise witness, the daughter of Jane Doe #1. She was permitted to testify in this case. We know that she came forward last week to the district attorney's office after seeing her mother's testimony on Court TV. Her mother, Jane Doe #1, telling the court that she was forcibly raped back in March of 2018. Today, her daughter told the court that the day after the alleged incident, she saw her mother's blood-stained pants in her bedroom. Jane Doe #1 was unable to identify Kellen Winslow II as the person who sexually assaulted her in an earlier court proceeding, but we do know that his DNA was found in those same pants. Then Jane Doe #4 testified today, taking the stand with very tearful, compelling testimony, some atrocious allegations. She alleges she was forcibly raped by Kellen Winslow II when he was 19 and she was 17 at a graduation party. She told the jury that she just kept telling him to stop and he would not. We'll continue with our gavel-to-gavel coverage in this compelling criminal case. You can always stay with Court TV for that and much more legal analysis. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
Okay, thank you, Julie. You can stream Court TV live 24 hours a day at courttv.com. The Indianapolis 500 may be over, but racing in Indiana, it never stops.
Kindergartners at McCordsville Elementary School took part in the cutest spectacle in racing today. The kids created their own cars, actually adorable cardboard boxes. Look at that. Pikachu there, and they raced to the finish line.
It was just something that we kind of wanted to end the year on, do something special for them, and involve, Indiana history with the Indianapolis 500. So we kind of tied that together, and we thought Kindy 500 was a cute name to tie in with the Indy 500.
Very cute. Well, those students who won their respective competitions received a carton of milk, just like the winner of the Indy 500 would get.
And there's the winner there. That's amazing. Good to see.
Very cute.
Coming up, all new at 6 o'clock, taking legal action. A girl and her mom sue a local school district, accusing them of failing to stop bullying. Why they felt they had to take this action.
But first on the Now Indy, it's the day you should think about saving for your child's college education. Our Scripps team explains why and the saving tips you need to see. You're watching RTV6. We'll be right back with the Now Indy.